Up to 1,50,000 you can claim it as deduction. You can reduce your tax burden up to the extent of 1,50,000. Deduction in respect of expenditure up to 40,000 on medical treatment of specified diseases. 80CCC deduction in respect of contribution to pension fund. A warm welcome to one and all. This is your Adarsh sir here, lecturing Vidhyaashram First Grade College, the Temple of Excellence. Now we are discussing session 8, unit 3 of your tax management 2. Under tax management 2, we are discussing assessment of individual. So you may think that unit 3 is set off and carry forward or income from other source. But in the same unit 3, you have 3 topics. One will be income from other source, set off, carry forward. Bond washing system is a small topic. Along with that, you have a big topic called assessment of individuals. Assessment of individuals, it is a complete 15-mark problem in your examination. Before we go to assessment of individuals, we should learn the deduction part. In the previous sem, you have already completed what are the deductions and how much is the deduction. Again, it will be revision part for you. So today we'll go with the deduction part. So agenda is very simple. We'll go with the concept and we'll go with the meaning. The first one, deductions. What do you mean by deductions? Still, I am not into assessment of individual problems. Before that, some basic things you must know. All the basic things we will discuss in today's session. Now, Chapter 6A of Income Tax Act contains various subsections of Section 80. I'll give you clear picture about what is Section 80. Now, just assume that your income, your total income is 8,50,000. It includes your salary, house property, business or profession, capital gain, other source, everything. After adding, just assume that my income per year, 8,50,000. How much I am supposed to pay tax? I am supposed to pay tax on 8,50,000. What is the tax slab? I'll come later for the tax slab. Just assume that 2,50,000 exempted. So what is the balance? 6 lakh. On 6 lakh, you're supposed to pay tax. On 6 lakh, you're supposed to pay tax. Are you ready to pay tax on 6 lakh? Yes. But you have certain deductions. Still, you can avoid your tax. Now, you're supposed to pay tax on what? 6 lakh. Still, you can avoid tax. How? Like, assume that you have taken a house. You have taken a house. So, for that house, you're paying interest. Every year, just assume that I bought a house for 50 lakh. Every month, I am paying 50,000 EMI. In that 50,000, 20,000 is the interest. That interest per year, how much I am paying? 20 into 12, almost 2,40,000 I am paying interest. How much I am paying? 2,40,000 I am paying interest. Now, this 2,40,000 you can minus. So, how much you are supposed to pay? 3,60,000. On that you are supposed to pay tax. Clear? Again, I have a small kid. I am paying tuition fees for my kid. So, how much I am paying tuition fee? Just assume that I am paying around 30,000 tuition fee. Tuition fee in the sense school fee. Now, whatever tuition fee I paid, I can minus. So, I have to pay tax on what amount? 3,30,000. I am supposed to pay tax on 3,30,000. Now, still I have a small kid. Every month I am spending 5,000. How I am spending? I am investing in post office. Every month I am investing 5,000 for my daughter in post office. Now, 5,000 into 12, how much? Every year I am saving 60,000 for my kid. So how much I invested in post office? 60,000. Now 3,30,000 minus 60,000. So 2,70,000. So how much? 2,70,000. Now one more is what? I have one more big child. For that I am paying college fees. I am paying what? College. For college fees I have taken loan from bank. For college fees I have taken loan from bank. Educational loan. For that educational loan I am paying 50,000 interest. Every year how much I am paying interest for education loan? For education loan I am paying 50,000. That also I can deduct. See, 2,70,000 minus 50,000. So 2,20,000. From this 2,20,000, just assume that I have donated for your COVID or some charity. I have donated some around 1 lakh I have donated. 1 lakh I have donated to some recognized institution. So I have donated how much? 1 lakh to the recognized institution. Now what happened? 2,20,000 minus 1 lakh I have donated. So how much I have to pay tax? I have to pay tax on 1,20,000. Still it goes on. Like one more thing, I have done some mediclaim policy for my health. For my health, my spouse, my child and my parents. So I have done some insurance policy. How much is the insurance premium? Just assume that 20,000 is my insurance premium. 1,20,000 minus 20. I am supposed to pay tax on what value? On 1 lakh I am supposed to pay tax. Clear? Yes, good. So out of 6 lakh, 2,40,000. 2,50,000 is the basic limit. 8,50,000 minus 2,50,000, I got 6 lakh. Now I am supposed to pay tax on 6 lakh. So what I did, I am very good at taxation. I know all the savings, all the deduction. So from 6 lakh to I reduced to 1 lakh. I am supposed to pay tax on 6 lakh. Just assume that 6 lakh into 20%. Assumption. I am supposed to pay 1,20,000 as a tax. I am supposed to pay 1,20,000 as a tax. Now I have reduced to what extent? 1 lakh. 1 lakh into 20%. I have to pay only 20,000 tax. See? 1,20,000 I was supposed to pay, but after implementing my knowledge, after spending my knowledge, after doing all the workout, I have reduced to what? 20,000. Almost I saved 1 lakh. Now, so what is the work of auditor? What is the work of chartered accountant? This is the same thing. We pay them 5,000 or 10,000 fees. Then the chartered accountant will make your 6 lakh to 1 lakh. He will make your 1,20,000 tax liability to 20,000. He already saved 1 lakh. So happily you will pay 5,000 fees to him. Clear? Yes. If you have the knowledge of all this, no need to go to auditor, no need to go to chartered accountant. Yourself sit and work out, reduce your tax. Hope you are clear. Now I'll come to the concept. Now, what is your section 80C, 80D, 80G, all 80E, everything I'll explain you. Now, 8,50,000 minus 2,50,000, 6 lakh years on 6 lakh you are supposed to pay. But already you have done some plans. After finding out, you know that you are paying interest for your housing loan. Like this is 80C, interest on your housing loan you paid. Then, so your tax burden reduced. Now, after that 30,000 you paid some your school fees, your child school fees. It also comes under 80C. Remember, under 80C maximum 1,50,000 you can claim. Just I am giving you example. Clear? In case of your interest on housing loan, unlimited you can claim. All this concept will come later, just you understand the concept. Now, 3,60,000 I have reduced to what? 3,30,000. Then 1,00,000 I paid my education interest. Education loan, on that I paid interest. It will come under 80E. For each concept we have a separate deduction. Now, after that again 20,000 I made. Sorry, this one is donation. For donation it comes G. For donation it comes G. Now, you have 60,000. 60,000 some post office savings you made. 80C. Some insurance you paid. What is the insurance? 80D. You paid your daughter or son school fees of 50. 80C. So these are the deductions. Like, so if it is a education loan, it will be 80E. If it is an education loan, it will be 80E. Just assume that now. So these are called as deduction. Why do we need this deduction? Means to avoid your tax in a legal way. You are not doing any fraud, you are not cheating government. So in the proper way, if you have sound knowledge in income tax, you can avoid your tax burden. See, in the small example, from 1,22,000, we have reduced to what extent? Just 20,000, because we have the knowledge. Clear? So this is all about your deduction. You make small payment. Many things are there. You can reduce your burden. If go and talk to your father or your parents, if they are paying income tax, they know well how to avoid tax. Clear? Chartered accountants are far better because they have much better ideas to avoid tax. Now, there is a reason we use that deduction topic. Now, under 8 is that allows an assessee to claim deduction from the gross total income. What is your gross total income? This 6 lakh is your gross total income. From that you can reduce. Chapter 6A, this we call it as Chapter 6A. Clear? Income Tax Act contains various subsection 80 that allows an assessee to claim deduction from the gross total income, like investment, permitted expenditures, donations, etc. Now, such deduction allow an assessee to considerably reduce the tax. What is the use of deduction? It will reduce your tax. Hope you are clear. Good. Now, so these are the deduction. It all comes under one slab. All are considered as one. 80C, 80CCC, 80CCD, all comes under one roof. Clear? Yes. Now, so we call it as 80C. Under this you have 80C. Under this you have 80CCC. Under this we have 80CCD. All put together, the maximum limit is what? 1,50,000. Just assume that every month you are spending 20,000 for your child in a post office. 20,000 into 12, how much? 2,40,000. Can you claim 2,40,000? No. Why? Because the limit for this is 1,50,000. Up to 1,50,000, you can claim it as deduction. You can reduce your tax burden up to the extent of 1,50,000. Now, 80C deduction in respect of life insurance premium, like 80C means what? They are explaining. Now, this one very important. Why? Because while doing problem, you should have the knowledge of this. Along with this, you will get separate question of 5 or 10 marks. Explain deduction 80C. Explain deduction 80D. Explain deduction 80DD. Like this, you will get separate question. Now, 80C deduction in respect of life insurance premium, deferred annuity contribution, provident fund, subscription to certain equity shares, debenture, etc. The limit is 1,50,000, not only for 80C, along with 80CCC, 80CCC and D. All put together, you have just assume that 70,000, 30,000, 50,000, all put together 1,50,000. Let it be 1,40,000 and from this 10,000, or from this 1,40,000, from this 10,000. Any combination, but together it should not exceed 1,50,000. Now, 80CCC deduction respect of contribution to pension fund. What is 80CCC? Pension fund. Now, 80CCD in respect of contribution to pension scheme of central government. This is other than central government. This is for central government. Now, so whatever the deduction you will claim, 10% of salary, basic plus DA. In other cases, 20% of his or her gross salary income. So in detail, I'll go later while doing the problem. Just assume that. So this is all about your investment. This is all about your pension fund. This is all about your pension scheme. So these are called as 80C, 80CCC, 80CCD, all put together 1,50,000 deduction. Now, second one, 80D. What about 80D? Now, deduction in respect of health insurance. In case of health insurance, premium paid up to 25,000 is eligible for deduction for individual, and for your family it will be 50,000. Clear? So for example, for yourself and for your wife, for your kid, what is the maximum limit? Maximum limit will be 25,000. But if you are doing for senior citizen, for your dad, mom and all, maximum 50,000. Overall, all put together, up to 1 lakh you can claim. Hope you are clear. You may think that 50 plus 25 is 75, but senior citizen you may have two, your mom and dad. How much it is? 50 plus 50, 1 lakh. Yourself and your wife, 25. All put together, it should not exceed 1 lakh. Maximum is how much? 1 lakh. Individual, 25. Senior citizen, 50. All put together, 1 lakh. Remember this concept. Clear? This is 80D, insurance purpose. 80 double D. Double D means what? Dependent. Double D for dependent. How to remember 80D? D for what? Doctor. Doctor comes under where? Health. Clear? Yes. Now, double D in the respect of dependent. 1D and double D. Dependent we have 2 Ds. Like this only, small tiny thing, but it is easy to remember in your examination. Dependent, who is a person with disability. Just assume that one of your relative is a disabled person. So maybe some health issues are from by birth itself he is a handicap. Then what we'll do? Being a responsible person, you will take care of that person. Whatever the expenditure you make towards him, you can claim it as deduction. What is the limit? Remember, the limit is 75,000. What is the limit? 75,000. If disability is 40% or more, but less than 80%. If it is a major disability, then 1,25,000. If the disability comes between 40 to 80%, then it is 75,000. You may think that's how do we know it is a 40 to 80 or 80%? In the certificate, the doctor will certify whether it comes below 80 or whether it comes above 80. It depends on disability. You can claim your deduction. For this, 75. For this, 125. If it is more than 80%. Clear? Good. 80 double D B. Deduction in respect of expenditure up to 40,000 on medical treatment of specified diseases from neurologist, oncologist. These are the diseases you have. I cannot, being a commerce faculty, I can't explain you all this. Clear? So in your examination also, you will not get these topics and all, just you are supposed to remember. In the exam, they will not explain you what is neurologist, what is oncologist. These things they will not ask you. Only have to mention these things. In case of these things, in case the individual on behalf of whom such expenses incurred up to 40,000 and HUF taxpayer can claim up to 1 lakh. Individual 40,000, HUF 1 lakh. Hope you are clear. Good. So this is all about your today's session. Still we have more. 80 G we have, 80 RRB we have, 80 U we have. Everything we will learn in the next session. Now I'll go back to your previous slide so that you can take a screenshot. So meaning of deduction, your 80C, 80CCC, 80CCD, 80D, 80DD. Now we'll come to the homework part. Very simple homework. Your homework, you are supposed to do it in the comment box only. Now, after watching your video, please answer this question. Very simple. Your question is very simple. In your comment box, you are supposed to do 80C, CCC, CCD. Second one, 80D. Third one, 80DD. Fourth one, 80DDB. So very simple. You are supposed to write, this is for what? Again, and what is the limit? This is for what and what is the limit? I'll give you example. So don't consider all three, just consider 80C. This is for investment, 1,50,000 is the limit. This is for health or medical insurance, individual 25 and senior citizen 50, all put together 1 lakh. 80DD for dependent. So if it is a normal disease, 40 to 80%, explanation not required. For dependent, 75, 125. So this is for certain diseases. Don't explain all the diseases. Certain diseases, what is the limit? This much only you are supposed to do. Do it honestly. Don't see the answer. Watch the video carefully. Later, 1, 2, 3, 4, only 4 points you are supposed to answer. So we'll see how many of you answered in the comment box. I wish who will be the first 5% who will answer. So this is all about your today's session. Almost we have completed half of your deduction part. The rest of the thing we will discuss in the next session. Thank you.